Latte Gang, welcome back to my channel. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody out there. I hope that your holidays are filled with nothing but the best of memories, good home cooking, and vibes on top of vibes on top of vibes. If this is your first time seeing this lovely face and hearing this gorgeous voice, hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Mocha Baby. I do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Right here on this channel, I bring you lifestyle content, things that we like, love, and stand that make our lives just a tad bit easier, make it a little bit more enjoyable, and as well as add that little sprinkle of adventure in. I also react to television shows such as dramas, comedies. I react to movies, reality television. I react to music, you name it, and it's a good chance that I react to it here. And as well, we chop it up a lot on this channel as well. We have a lot of real conversations. We talk about everyday matters. We also have spiritual talks. We do financial talk, financial advice, you name it, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, for those of you that have been here for, a little while, y'all already know what we do here. We are nothing more than one big happy lit family, and that's just what it is. We already know that this is where the magic lives, because I know that the Mocha Latte Gang is more than one facet. You're multi-dimensional. So why give you a little bit when I can give you a whole lot of everything? Now, with all of that being said, we're just going to go ahead and dive right into this video. This video is my long-awaited reaction review of One More Chance, episodes 11 and 12. I promised that I was going to do them, I think maybe a week or two ago, but I am a mom, and mom duties always comes first. I do have a small kid, but I etched out some time so I can get this content to you guys and get it to you right. So we're going to start off with episode 11. Episode 11 picks up exactly where episode 10 pretty much leaves off. Episode 10, nobody went home. Chance was, acting like, he was tired or whatever, and therefore there was no elimination in that show. Now we get to episode 11, and it starts out with two sets of girls having conversations about how their supposed dates went. First we get Soulja Girl and we get Rolly. And they're going back and forth about how their dates was, kind of, piggybacking off of each other, as well as kind of seeing if they can get under each other's skin. Nobody really kind of wins out between the two. They both hold their own. Soulja Girl, makes a couple cracks about Rolly's weight. Rolly cracks a couple jokes about Soulja Girl being slow. So they're pretty much evenly matched here. Then we get a conversation between Yodeler and Bad and Bougie. Now it starts out kind of rocky while they're discussing their dates, and then the subject of Bad and Bougie's age comes up, because Yodeler asks her how old she is, and she could tell how old she is because of her hands, which is true. You can definitely tell how old somebody is with the way that their hands look. So Bad and Bougie admits that she was lying about her age, but she was saying, to Yodeler, you know how it is, being that you are an artist yourself, then you should understand why I had to take my age down a few years. And she admits to being 37. Now she could be 37. She might even be a little bit older, but it really doesn't matter, because Bad and Bougie is probably the baddest one in this season of Girls. So They chop it up and they connect over the fact that they both have had a miscarriage. So they wrap that conversation up and they go inside to continue getting ready for their day. Then we get a scene with Micah and Chance, and they're talking about each of the girls, both the pros and cons of each. Um, Micah brings up each of the girls, and Chance kinds of say how he feels one way or the other about each of, he brings up Rolly, and he says that Rolly is the realest one in the house, but he don't believe that Chance would pick Rolly because of aesthetically she is not his type. If she looked like Soulja Girl, then it probably wouldn't even be much of a competition. Rolly would have won the first season that she was on. So moving along, they talk about Yodeler, and he says that he's still sketchy on her. He don't really know if she's there for him because he ain't really seen too much of her this entire season. He did say that they had a nice date, but it could be a little too late for her. Then Soulja Girl, he is still on the baby daddy stuff. And then it's Bad and Bougie, and he gets on the counter and he illustrates what he wants to do to Bad and Bougie. Pretty much he wants to fuck her. And but then he cracks a joke about her having old lady knees. And I'm just like, really, Chance, how can you talk about her age when you 40 yourself? Because if Bad and Bougie is really 37, like she says she is, then Chance, she 3 years younger than you. So what is you talking about? Why are you calling that lady old? And then even if she's a year or two older than him, still, nigga, you 40. What is you talking about? You ain't no spring chicken no more. Then moving on to the next scene. It's time for elimination. We get all 4 girls lined up. All of them look good. All of them look cute. And then Chance enters the room and he's saying how it's the hardest elimination he had to do. And he calls Yola down first and practically tells her that, he's not really, feeling the love from her or whatever. And, it was her last chance. And, she walks off and he, be talking about, can he have some love? And she just keeps walking like, whatever, nigga. And then after that, it comes down to the top 3, which is Bad and Bougie, Rolly, and Soulja Girl. And he asks Rolly why should he pick Soulja over her, which is Rolly. And Rolly looked at him like he out of his mind, like, what do you mean? Why pick her over me? I want you to pick me, not her. And then he, tells her to go back. And he calls up Soulja Girl. And, he goes through this long soliloquy. And he supposedly he lets her go. Which would be a shock, which would have been the biggest shock of the season, right? And that's what we thought was finna happen. He actually let Soulja Girl go, saying that he cited that the whole baby daddy thing just was a little bit too much for him. However, when she walked up the steps, she was kind of, assing around and I guess acting as if she did not want to leave. He told her about twice, like, you have to go that way. And then she said, I'm going. And then it was the 3rd time, if I'm not mistaken, he said, you don't want to go. And then she said, no. And he told her to come back. So then it goes from the top 2 back to 3. And he calls Rolly down again. And Bad and Bougie already has her hat, by the way. He gave her a hat. And, he's telling Rolly that, basically that her time is up. And, she was looking at him with like, if that is the case, then why did you bring me back? And he comes up with this cock and bull story saying that, I brought you back because I knew that you would have my back. But I'm just not really feeling you on that level. I'm feeling more friend vibes from you. Yada, yada, yada. Whoop, whoop. So, we get that scene, and Rolly is standing in front of him, and he asks her, can I have some love or whatever? And she does, hug him, although she looks rather sourpuss. And she says, well, will you wish me luck in finding love? And then he goes, yeah. But don't give all my love away because you're still my Rolly. And she then proceeds to walk up the stairs and go on. And then we're left with the top 2, which is Bad and Bougie and Soulja Girl. Was anybody surprised? Because I was not. He did exactly what I knew that he would. Side story before we get into the final episode, the season finale. So, 2 weeks ago, when episode 11 aired, and I'll say it might have been maybe 1 or 2 o'clock that Monday morning. Because I watched it late. It probably was like maybe 11 or 12 o'clock by the time I watched it that Sunday. And when I saw it pissed me off. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So I went to Chance's Instagram because I've been a follower of his for some time, even before, he came out with the show. He had, his IG page. And, I've been a fan of him since I was a teenager. So, I've always been a fan. But see, I'm not the type of person that's a yes fan. I'm a fan, but I'm going to say exactly what I think. Whether it's good or bad, whether I agree or I don't agree with said person's actions. So I went to his page, and you know how they be promoting whatever they have going on their page, and it was one of the scenes from that night's episode. And I commented, and I said, I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember exactly, but I said something along the lines of, it should have been Bad and Bougie and Rolly, and I'm gonna tell you why I said that in a minute. And then I said, but aesthetics win again. Are we even surprised? He did exactly what I knew he would do. He would never pick a plus size woman. Chance, you're not shit for that. I said, I don't care how fine he is. Chance ain't shit for that. That's what I said. Okay. I went back the next morning, maybe around 10, 12 o'clock. Because my mom watches the show with me. And I was telling her about some of the comments that I saw of the night prior. And I was finna go back and read her some of what I had seen. But when I went back, I couldn't see nothing, at least not from Chance's page. So I tried to, go a couple times, see, okay, maybe my phone just cutting up, because sometimes it do that. So I log back out, log back in, still the same thing. Then I go to Zoo page, fine. Go to Micah page, fine. So then I'm like, Then I say, I think this nigga blocked me. So then I logged out of my account and just looked, just as I was looking not on the app but on the browser, and I could get to his page no problem. So then that's when I discovered, I was like, yeah, he blocked me. So I'm like, I got blocked for telling the truth. And I can admit it did kind of sting, because I was like, I've been a fan of this man since I was a teenager. And I comment on his page all the time. It was nothing new. I always dropped in my 2 cents. And it wasn't the first time that I dropped in my 2 cents and that I did not agree with some action he had did on the show. But for whatever reason, this time he decided that he was gonna block me. Now, mind you, everything that I say about Chance is not bad. I don't disagree with everything that he does, because as you know, you guys, I've been reviewing this show here for you all for the past 2 seasons. And everything wasn't bad. But at any rate, I just did not and could not fuck with what he did. So I decided that, like many other people, that I was gonna let him know. And see, Chance, he does actually read his comments. So I guess I must have hit a nerve or something, because the next morning I was blocked for 4 sentences, 5 little sentences. I wasn't slandering nobody. I just told the truth. And the truth of the matter is, aesthetics did win again. And he would never choose a plus size one, because he wouldn't. It was all over. It was all over the whole season. If you go back and you watch the second season, you'll see exactly what I'm saying, and exactly what some other YouTube influencers are saying that are reviewing this show as well. We all saw the same thing. We saw a woman that was really truly there for him, but she did not fit his aesthetic, and he spent the entire season running away from her, saying, oh, she gonna break me, or oh, she hurt me, or oh, she attacking me, or oh, almost like, ew, get away from me type of vibes. That's what it gave. At least that's what I saw. So I come to the conclusion that obviously he doesn't like plus size women, but not only that, he doesn't like black women either, or not fully black women. He has a type. We've seen it in both season 1 and season 2. It's very clear that he does have a type. And don't get me wrong, we all have types, we all have preferences, because I know I certainly have a type, I certainly have a preference. That's not what pissed me off. What pissed me off about it was the way he and Zeus went about it, what they did. It was more than she wasn't his type or wasn't his cup of tea. They used her, of course, for content, because they knew that she would bring the fire and that she would bring good content. And 2, they made her the butt of the entire second season. She was the butt of the joke. Anytime somebody is constantly running from you and you're madly in love with this person, you have their back, you're this, that, and the third, and they're always running from you, this sweetheart, you are the joke. They was always talking about her work. It was always some sly remark from not only him, but the other girls as well. And I'm like, she was not doing anything that none of the other ones wasn't doing. They were being aggressive too. They was going after him in the same manner in which she was. But he was not running from them. He was running from her. So that's the part that really, really ticked me off, because it's like, okay, you have a type, cool. You're not feeling her like that, cool. But you ain't have to lead that girl on like that, and you ain't have to keep her that long if you knew in the end that you wasn't gonna pick her, because it was obvious the whole season that you wasn't. But you kept her because she was good content. And then that lame excuse about her having your back. I'm like, bruh, you did Shira like that last season. What is this about women being your security? Those girls didn't come on this show to be your security. Shira wasn't your security last season. Rolly wasn't your security this season. They were there trying to get with you, you dumbass. What sense did that even make? Because I thought he was crazy last season. Always talking about Shira need to have his back and stop the fights and all that bullshit. I thought that was crazy. Just like when he said that this season to Rolly, I thought that was crazy. Like, don't you pay people for that? Don't you have a security team that's supposed to protect you like that and have your back? Why you talking about Rolly had your back? Somebody make it make sense, please. I'll wait. It still don't do it. But at any rate, I hope when the reunion comes out, which I am looking very forward to watching and reviewing, I hope that Rolly and some of the other girls too give Chance a piece of their mind. They really tell Chance what he can get off at. I hope they do. I can't wait. Now, moving on to the season finale, episode 12, which picks up exactly where episode 11 left off. We have our two finalists. We have Bad and Bougie, and we have Soulja Girl. We have them, and then we get a scene with Micah and Chance, and he's kind of telling them to go talk to the girls, go grill them one last time, so he can kind of get his thoughts together on who he's gonna pick. So we get Micah going in like he's deputy sheriff, to each of them. First he goes to Bad and Bougie. She's sitting on the chair, and he comes up with this wild accusation that she is a prostitute or was a prostitute. And she just like, huh? Now where the hell you heard that? A prosy? The girl that was a so-called prosy, y'all wouldn't all up in her face like that when she was still on the show. Very, very interesting. Wouldn't y'all think? But then, he questioned her about some of the things that Soulja Girl had been saying about her, getting a house with her ex-son, her OnlyFans and all that type of stuff. And, they had a talk while she was on the couch about that. And, a lot of what she was saying, he really act like he wasn't buying. But they wrapped up the conversation, and then he went to talk to Soulja Girl, which was in her room. Now, Soulja Girl was in her room, and it was the same deputy sheriff type of vibes. That's the type of vibes that Michael was giving when he went in. And he begins to question Soulja Girl as well. He begins to talk about the baby daddy situation. And, Soulja Girl points out, well, Chance is a baby daddy too, so I don't know why you keep bringing this up like this. And he just said that basically he's looking out for his brother, and it's said that you living with him and whoop de whoop, so on and so forth. But they hash it out about that, and he asks her, what makes you more compatible for my brother than say Bad and Bougie. And she kind of said something about them both being parents and understanding how to raise children and how they can deal with the other parent and co-parenting, and they understand all that. And she kind of talks in circles with that quite a bit in great detail, but she really didn't say anything, because the whole time she was talking, I was just looking at the screen like, what did she say? And I felt dumber looking at that scene like, it don't make sense. Somebody please make it make sense. So they finished that scene, and I was definitely glad when it was over. So then, they I think it was Michael, he told them to get ready for their final date. Chance wanted to see the girls one final time before he made his final decision. So they have dinner at the table. You have Bad and Bougie on one side of Chance and Soulja Girl on the other, and it was a shit show. They spent the entire time arguing. Chance was there, but it was like he really wasn't there. Um, it was like he was there just kind of like in between a cat fight, in between two birds going like this. I mean, he couldn't get a word in edgewise with either of them. Soulja Girl, all she could talk about was Bad and Bougie's, age. Bad and Bougie was, still constantly saying about the baby daddy issue with Soulja Girl. And then Soulja Girl gets very offended, and she begins to get up and act like she's gonna fight Bad and Bougie, saying like, you don't bring my kids into a whoop de whoop whatever. And Soulja Girl, first of all, she knows she's not bad. Soulja Girl has been quiet this entire season up until maybe the last 3-4 episodes, and then now it's like, oh, you want to be that bitch now? Oh, you so explosive now? Oh, you talk all this shit now? Where was this girl at in episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8? Where was she? Girl, you know this ain't you, because you looked really stupid when you was doing it. You looked like you was about to cry. Because you wasn't going to do anything. Because Bad and Bougie told her to sit the fuck down because she knew she wasn't going to do anything. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, she right. Because if she was going to do something, you ain't going to spend all that time sitting up talking about what you going to do, baby. You just going to do it. You ain't got to talk about it. You got to be about it. So, she went about it. And she did eventually, I can't remember if she sat down. Now, I don't think she did. I think she stormed off eventually at some point. And then, Bad and Bougie was telling Chance, like to calm her down before she stormed off. And he was kind of like a little mouse in the table. He touched her on her arm, and she did his arm like that. Like, get your arm off of me, nigga. Like, I ain't stunning you right now. And, Soulja Girl was saying something about she thought that Chance was going to defend her, but he didn't. I'm thinking like, hey, how is he going to defend you when you spending the whole time like this? The man couldn't get a word in edgewise. How he going to defend you? Somebody make that make sense. Somebody make it make sense. Because it don't. So he does go and I guess try to talk to her, but it was like he wasn't really there, and she just was an irate idiot at this point. So that was the end of the dinner, and then it was time for them to get ready for the last final ceremony. So this designer coming in, giving Chance a dope stay in their jacket, and they show the girls getting ready in their white. Both of them looking really pretty, really classy in their white. It was definitely giving all white party vibes. It was definitely serving Beach Party 2022. That's kind of what it was serving. So the girls go downstairs and they're waiting on Chance while Chance is talking to his brother. His brother was saying that he thought he was going to be in on the final ceremony. And he's like, nah, I got to make this decision on my own. You know, I got this by the by. And then Michael was saying, well, whatever decision you make, you know, I'll be cool with it. So they go and they enter into the final ceremony. And things get really, really weird from here. First of all, we get what appears to be a drunk Soulja Girl and some really, really achy feet and what she says are some Fashion Nova shoes, which were really cute, by the way. But Sister Girl looked like she had 2 bad feet. Like she was walking like a penguin. She couldn't stand there. She was tripping over herself at one point. They told her to take the shoes off. She didn't. But she just looked like she was in quite a deal of pain for her feet. Her and Bad and Bougie was still going back and forth, arguing. It just was a hot mess, really, on both of them's point, but more on Soulja Girl than Bad and Bougie. They going like this, and you know, Chance is just standing there like he has had enough. He calls Bad and Bougie down and he goes to talking to her, and it seems like he's about to get ready to tell her that her last chance is up. But before he can do so, she starts talking and saying that, you know, she's a real woman and she this and that, and if he can't see that, then he doesn't deserve her. So before he can eliminate her, she eliminates herself, and you know, she does embrace him and told him that it would be the last time that he would feel that. And then, you know, she proceeds to, you know, walk on up the stairs. So then we left with Soulja Girl standing there looking like the ugly duckling by the feet. And you know, Chance is talking to her, and you know, she's been pretty much sure this entire season that she was going to be the one to win it all, right? It kind of seemed like, you know, once Shine left, that she was going to be the shoo-in, right? That's kind of what we was thinking. And wrong. He didn't pick her either. Chance did not pick anybody because he knew that those girls was not there for him, and the one that was there, he just couldn't pick her for X, Y, and Z reasons, the status, what have you. But he knew that they were not there. And if we go back to the very beginning of the episode, which I did fail to mention, he did say something about it was a possibility that he could send them all home and do it all over again, which I think that's what he wanted to do. Anyway, the Zeus check is good. He can possibly get free punani on the side. So why not? Why not, you know, get paid for another 10, 11, 12 episodes or so to basically have a whole lot of women throw themselves at you and slut themselves out for TV? Why not? It doesn't seem like it's such a bad idea on Chance's part, right? And collect a fat check too. It don't seem so bad. It seems like a win-win. So that's exactly what he does. He sent Soulja Girl on. And we think that Soulja Girl is going to leave because she does exit. But the little chickie comes back. And she finally takes her shoes off. And she says, I'm ready now. Give me my hat. She don't know how foolish she made herself look. I see why she was on IG maybe 3 weeks to a month ago saying she don't even watch that shit. I see why. Because, honey, you made yourself look like a fool. You look like Bobo the Fool on national television for a nigga. What? Why they do that at? You gonna bet this nigga to give you a fucking hat? Is you for real? Fuck that shit. You talking about give me my hat? Cause you was shocked because you didn't win. Cause you been giving up the cookies. He was all up in that thing. And you still didn't win. Huh. Being a hoe don't always win, sweetheart. Next. And that's where it ends. Now, let me go back to when I got blocked, because I said that I was going to tell you guys why in the comment I said that it should have been Bad and Bougie and Rolly. I really felt like, truthfully, it should have been Rolly and Yodeler, but I said in the comment Bad and Bougie and Rolly, since at that point he had let Yodeler go and Bad and Bougie already had a hat. So that's why I said that. But really, it should have been the two OGs, since they was the ones that really knew him the most. And those other girls really just was whack. But at any rate, if you made it to this point in the video, kudos to you. Woohoo. I am so glad that you took time out and you waited to watch this video. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Now there are a few things I need you to do before we wrap up this video. I want you to go ahead and like this video. I want you to share it. I want you to comment. And I want you to subscribe. Now, after you subscribe, I want you to ring that bell so that you can be notified every time that I drop this hot fire on this channel. Then, there's one more thing I need my mocha lattes to do. I need you to stay blessed. I need you to stay fly. And may angels be encamped around and about you. Until next time, bye.